back to my homestead. It's Christmas season and that means that we're baking more cookies. Earlier today, my whole family, all of the girls of my family were over in my kitchen, my sisters, my nieces, my great nieces, and we had such a great time baking all together because that's something we do every single year. And I absolutely love and treasure that. So we get together and we bake one particular recipe, and I have that recipe that I shared with you guys last year. I will put up a link above and below. We bake rogaliki, and it's a very popular pastry in Russian culture, and we bake it every year. It comes out so good. But I also want to show you some other recipes that I bake with my girls at home every Christmas season. And I love it because you know how sometimes people can't decide if they want to be at the beach with palms, or if they want to be in a cold climate with snow. Well, today I'm gonna have a recipe when it's a perfect combination of both. It's gonna be the seaside and it's gonna be the snowy side. So today I'm gonna make my Christmas seashell cookies. They are pillowy soft with a little bit of meringue inside. Melts in your mouth. So let me show you my recipe that I have adopted from somebody else, twisted it and made it my own. So let me show you the ingredients. Super easy, super fun, and few people can help you, hands-on type of cookie. All right, so here it goes. This is a very, very easy recipe. So we're gonna need a dough and filling for these cookies. So the dough is super simple. All I need is 2 sticks of butter. Here in the US, it's 2 sticks, it's 1 cup. But if you do using a metric system, we're gonna need about 220 grams, something like this. It's about 8 ounces. So it's very soft. I left it on the counter to get it nice and soft, okay? And I'm gonna put it in my KitchenAid with this kind of whisk to blend it all together, cream it to make it nice and soft. And to that, I'm also going to add some sour cream. I love to make cookies with sour cream because I find that the dough is very easy to work with, okay? And it stays soft and fresh for a long time. So I'm just measuring up a cup of full fat sour cream, okay? That's all I needed, and I'm gonna put this away. There is gonna be no sugar in my dough at all, okay? But I will need to separate 3 eggs. So I have 3 eggs, and they're room temperature. Try to get them room temperature if all possible. And I need to separate 3 eggs. 3 egg yolks are gonna go into my, it should go here. I should not have done that. 3 egg yolks will go into my recipe, and 3 egg whites I'm saving for later, and they need to be room temperature as well because I will be using them for the filling, okay? So 3 egg yolks for the dough and 3 egg whites for the filling. Where'd my towel go? Here's my towel. All right. So I'm gonna mix them together with butter and with sour cream. There's going to be no sugar in this dough at all. All right, so super simple. The entire whole recipe, I will leave it on the bottom in the description so you can look below. And I'm gonna try to do it in metric system and in American system as well. All right, so here's my sour cream. I'm adding that together. So I'm gonna attach my whisk because it's going to help to cream everything together. All right, so these are my wet ingredients. And I'm just gonna beat them for, I don't know, for about a minute to marry them all together. To that, I'm also going to add just a pinch of salt, not much, because you probably already know that in order for the sweetness to come through, we need to add a little bit of salt. It's not going to show up salty, but it's gonna add to a good flavor. And I'm going to add some of my homemade vanilla extract, and why not? I'm gonna put a good teaspoon in here as well. All right, now I'm gonna start adding the flour, and I need 2.5 cups of flour. But just earlier today, I was telling my family, I said, I don't know what's wrong with this flour. I feel like I needed to use more than normal just because of this particular flour. So I'm gonna have to judge it, and I may have to add more flour because it should be very soft dough, but it's not, should not stick to my hands. So one thing I forgot to do, I need to change this whisk because I no longer need the whisk. So now I'm gonna switch it to the paddle because it's going to help me to mix now with my dry ingredients. And I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of flour, and I'm gonna add them slowly. All right, so I think it's pretty done. I'm gonna stop it now. And if there's any loose, so let me feel this dough. It's not sticking to my hands, but it's very super soft. So all I'm gonna do is just mix everything together, remove it out of my mixing bowl, and I will need to let it rest in the fridge. How long, you know, everyone has a different idea how long it needs to rest, but this is how I feel about this kind of dough. I feel that because it has so much butter, which is gonna scrape everything because it's stuck a little bit here, as long as the butter cools off, I think it's done. I think it's ready. So I'm just gonna take it out. I'm gonna put it in my plastic wrap. See this beautiful dough? Look at it. Yeah, super soft. And I'm gonna let it rest probably for about an hour or so in a fridge, covered in either in a Ziploc bag or just on a plastic. While the dough is resting in the fridge, getting nice and cold, I'm gonna make the filling. And the filling is super simple. All it has is 3 ingredients. Let me grab my book here. I'm going to need, remember those egg whites, the 3 egg whites? Well, here they are, and I'm gonna need those 3 egg whites. 3/4 cup of white plain sugar, and 1.5 cups of chopped walnuts. And I like to just put them in a bag and whack them pretty good. I'm sure everyone has a lot of frustrations right before the holidays, trying to rush to do last minute shopping. Well, instead of wasting money on presents that will be discarded by kids and broken in just a couple of short weeks, I say just make cookies and whack those nuts right there with the rolling pin. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just gonna crush them into small little pieces, or you may use a knife and cut them with a knife if you like. So what I'm going to be doing right now, I'm going to be putting my 3 last ingredients in the mixing bowl and either using something to whip those egg whites into a meringue. Okay, so I'm going to attach a whisk to beat it with sugar to make those nice and soft peaks. Again, all of the ingredients, I'm going to put it in the description below, so you don't have to worry about memorizing them. You just can go down and copy them, okay? So I'm going to use the whisk, and I'm going to put those 3 leftover egg whites, and they are room temperature. And I'm going to add to that 3/4 cup of white sugar. And I have plain white sugar here. I like to use cane sugar because it's non-GMO, but really you can use anything you want. Okay, and I'm just gonna whisk it until I get those soft peaks. Start slow so I'm not making any mess, and then I'm going to increase the speed. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. See that? Nice and firm peaks, okay? So what I'm gonna, so my meringue is done. Basically, that's what it is. It's just beat egg whites with sugar. All right, and to that, I'm gonna add all of the nuts, just like this, and mix them together. Okay, isn't that beautiful right there? So I'm gonna mix everything, I'm gonna mix everything. I'm gonna mix everything together. Sorry, it's my Russian accent. Be careful what you pray for. I remember I told God, I said, I don't care if I speak with an accent. Just help me to learn the language. Well, he helped me to learn the language with an accent. So, all right, so this is my filling and it's done. So I think it's time to take out the dough from the fridge anyway and roll it out. All right, so I roll this out in a thin, very thin, probably what, I don't know, 1/10 of an inch or so. I can literally see the bottom of the countertop underneath. And I'm using this, it's a circle from a ring from my regular mouth jars. And I'm just gonna cut out nice little circles, okay? I find it to be the easiest way to do it is by cutting out these little circles. You may choose any other kind of form, but a plain round circle works the best for me. And wait until I show you how I'm gonna make this little Christmas seashells, and it's going to be perfect combination of tropical beach and cold Vermont. You know, that nostalgic. I'm going to remove the extras I don't need, and I will roll them out later. All right, put this to the side. Now check this out. I'm going to take this little circle. I'm going to put about a teaspoon worth of filling inside, just like this, okay? And then I'm gonna fold it in half. Don't squeeze all the filling out, and turn it again. And so it turns into a tiny little triangle, and I'm gonna put it on my cookie sheet, okay? And I'm gonna fill them all up just like that, okay? I'm gonna try not to put too much of filling because it's gonna try to squeeze out as it's baking. But I'm gonna put probably about a teaspoon or so. Okay, fold and fold. All right, so my first tray is ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna bake this at 350-degree oven. And for about 20 minutes. But since every single oven is different, I'm just going to encourage you guys to keep an eye on them because they should be slightly golden, and those little meringues here should start turning nice light kind of like toasted color. So it's going in the oven 350 degrees. Ooh, look at them little seashells. 5 more minutes. The first batch of seashells are out, and don't they resemble seashells with a little meringue baked inside? It's gonna melt in your mouth. All right, so that's the tropical seaside we're talking about, but now I'm gonna turn them into nice and cold and wintry Vermont, New England. Can we think of beautiful New England? Christmas in New England, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna put them on a plate just like this. Okay, they are still very fluffy, but they're not falling apart or anything. They're very fragile, but yet I can move them around. All right, so I'm gonna put one layer. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of confectionate sugar and I'm gonna sprinkle on top. Look at that beautiful snow. It's snowing on the seashells. All right, so we have combined the beautiful Florida with New England. Yay! Okay, so let's give it a taste. These beautiful Christmas seashells are ready to be consumed. All right, so I'm just gonna grab one. Have my trusty Russian tea right here, so let's give it a taste. It's really good. I wish I could share this with you guys. It's really good. So these cookies are sweet just enough. And even though, excuse me, I'm chewing. And even though we did not add any sugar to the dough, they are plenty sweet because we put sugar in the filling. And we sprinkled plenty of sugar on top, the powdered sugar. So friends, I hope you have a blessed Christmas. So be encouraged and try something new.